Welcome back to Cooking with KD, the Comfort Food King. Back by popular demand is our episode on breakfast cereal. Enjoy. Today we're going to talk about something that's been a big part of American cuisine for decades, breakfast cereal. Let's break it down. It comes in two major categories. The first is the stuff that's supposed to be good for you. The second is the good stuff, the sugary good stuff that we all grew up with. So let's do the so-called healthy choices first. Number one seller in America, Cheerios. I don't know why, but it is number one seller, and it's okay. Better when you dump a wad of sugar on it, but this is one that's been around forever, Wheaties. It's always got a major athlete on the cover, probably targeting youngsters who are, health conscious and want to be an athlete and care about their bodies. I've never had a bowl of Wheaties in my life. Raisin Bran, that's been around forever. I think the raisins were kind of dusted with sugar, so you could kind of get through it. They got very soggy, not my favorite. Rice Krispies. Okay, this is probably the greatest product development in the history of processed food. If you think about it, at Kellogg's there was probably a cereal scientist in a white coat in a lab, and he figured out that if he crisped one grain of rice, which didn't taste like anything, but it could fill this box for probably 3 cents because it was just crisped. It was mostly air. What's even more impressive is the marketing campaign. The marketing guy is trying to figure out how to market something that tasted like air, and he realized when you pour milk on it, it made a crinkly sound. So he actually marketed the snap, crackle, pop. So we bought something because of the way it sounded, not because of what it tasted like. How stupid are we? But it worked. Corn Chex from the Chex suite of cereals. There's other tasteless varieties, wheat, rice. I give them credit for diversifying and making it really a holiday thing where people buy it really to make Chex Mix at Christmas time. This is another one, shredded wheat. Now they come in little spoon-sized nuggets that fit on your spoon. When I was a kid, it was very old school. The box came with like 8 big biscuits of shredded wheat. So you had to kind of break it up in your bowl. So I like it old school. You want shredded wheat? Shred it yourself, pal. And the conundrum of these so-called healthy cereals. Grape Nuts. First of all, it tastes like pea gravel. You could easily break a tooth. When you pour milk on it, it's like quicksand. It's a weird consistency. And why the small box? All the cereal boxes that you see in the store, very consistent. I imagine at one point there was like a UN, like a meeting of, a logistics meeting, convention of all the major cereal companies, people from Kellogg's and Post and General Mills and executives from all the major grocery store chains to discuss logistics and agree upon, specific measurements for the easy and efficient display and shipping and packaging and putting them on the shelves so everything worked. And I think they were all in agreement, but the guy at Grape Nuts was just like, so don't get Grape Nuts, never had. Now let's talk about the good stuff, the stuff we all grew up with, the sugary sweet stuff. It always had a cartoon character as the spokesman, typically had a little catchphrase. They would market this stuff to us on Saturday morning cartoons, and it was just a big part of breakfast. So I'm going to hit kind of the classics. Captain Crunch. I know there's crunch berries and peanut butter, but breakfast with the captain, you can't beat it. Fruit Loops with Toucan Sam. Follow your nose. It's a big Fruit Loop fan. This is my personal favorite. Lucky Charms. They are magically flippin' delicious. They got the marshmallow treats and they're awesome. Cocoa Puffs. Who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Me. Awesome cereal. Remember Sugar Bear? Now they call them Golden Crisp. I thought they were called Super Sugar Crisp. I don't know, but same thing. And even his little T-shirt says Sugar Bear, classic. Tricks, Silly Rabbit. Tricks are for kids. No, they're for everybody. And then Cocoa Crispies. They just took the classic Rice Krispies and dumped chocolate on it. Works for me. And the number one selling sweet cereal, Frosted Flakes. That surprised me. They're okay. Tony says they're great. But then even the sweet cereals took a turn. Even though in the public debate, America started to become more health conscious. But the cereal companies, it just seemed like they were like, screw it. And they leaned in. You could see this. I think this is when the turn began. Remember this one? Cookie Crisp. They're like, we don't care. Yeah, cookies are for dessert. But now it's cereal. And it got even worse. What about this one? Reese's Puffs. I thought Reese's was candy. No, it's for breakfast. And then Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I know is a big favorite of a lot of people, they got in the game. French toast. And if that's not enough, our friends at Cinnamon Toast Crunch, guess what? Churros. That's right. Deep fried dough covered in sugar. It's now a breakfast cereal. You think that's enough? No. How about this? Oreos for breakfast. That's amazing. It's what a country we live in. I'm not done. How about this one? That's right. Hershey Kisses. Hershey Kisses are just chocolate. Nothing else. But as you can see, it's now breakfast cereal. And then kind of my favorite, Twinkies. Now you can have Twinkies for breakfast. So I think it's great, you know, as a chubby kid whose mom always made him eat a bowl of Total when his friends were jamming with Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms. I'm glad this stuff is around. Hope you enjoyed that classic episode of Cooking with KD, the Comfort Food King. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon.